We have this opening taking us to the main bar.
Like, why would you come to this bar? Like, is this like where the family, where you get drunk with your wife and kids? Like, shouldn't the bar be downstairs where everyone hangs out? You know, I don't get it. You've only been told half of the story, the good part about the Michael Jordan property. You're about to find out the bad and the ugly. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. I critique and sell mansions. Let's get the show started.
Chicago, known as the Windy City, the second city, and the city of big shoulders. Today, I can think of no bigger shoulders than those of one of Chicago's greatest sons, Michael Jordan. Widely considered to be the greatest basketball player of all time, MJ is possibly the greatest athlete of all time, and to some, one of the most iconic Americans in US history. Bigger than all of Chicago's great landmarks, Michael Jordan represents the city itself. He has helped shape its cultural significance and been a pinnacle of hope to its people. But Chicago also shaped him.
The Chicago Bulls picked Michael Jordan of the University of North Carolina.
Here is the man. They call him Mr. Jordan in Chicago. The standing ovation for Michael Jordan.
Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won.
Trying to shake off starts. Oh, what a move by Jordan!
Here's Jordan with three. Yes!
Malone is double. They swat at it and steal it. Here comes Chicago. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
Today, we're honored to be on the grounds where much of Michael's incredible story took place, to tour a home that played a huge role in its success. It is my great privilege to welcome you to 2700 Point Lane in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Let's begin. We have numbers 23 on the gates, which says it all, and those gates open up to a long, elegant driveway lined with trees, and that driveway brings you to this point where we have the motor court. They have brought over 150 trees to line this property, so it feels very secluded, very private, and we have the entry of this property here. This section opens up to the first part of the grounds where we have the putting green, and this motor court continues on this side and takes you to the guest house and the basketball court, which we will see later in the tour. You have access to your garages here, parking areas, and coming to this section, we have the paved motor court. Property is landscaped beautifully, and that's the front door right there. Now, before we get into the house, I want to talk about the specs of this property. We have 9 bedrooms, 15 full, 4 half baths, approximately 56,000 square feet of interior space, built on a 7.39 acre lot, on the market for $14,855,000.
Let's take a look at this property. It's 7 acres. It's in Highland Park, which is actually not Chicago. It's a very affluent area north of Chicago. It's not even in Cooks County, but we had a huge driveway. The approach was fantastic, right? I always say, like, the difference between luxury and ultra luxury a lot of times comes to the frontage, and this property absolutely nails it, right? Let's look at the aerial footage. It's one of the first things I do when I want to analyze a property. I like to take a look at the property on the map. Here's the property itself, okay? So the gates, the 23, numbers on the gate, very, very cool. And then you have this long driveway. This is another property, but this is the Michael Jordan property right here, this lake. Now, one of the first things that you see is railroad track. Is that luxury to you guys? To be next to 2 railroad tracks right next to each other, and then an industrial space, and then a highway. That's not ideal. And what's even worse is that the property has been skewed and pushed all the way to this area, which is the closest to the railroad tracks. You can see that it gives you the long driveway, which kind of creates that really long anticipation and everything. But overall, I have a lot of problems with the way they've positioned this property on the lot. The lot utilization is pretty weak, very bad, and I'm going to get down to it once we go to the interior and you see the wow factor.
And now, let's go inside. We're gonna start our tour with the entry of this property. Nice and spacious. I really like this curved glass block wall, bringing a ton of natural light.
All right, this is straight up Art Deco style. Now, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you saw an Art Deco mansion? Do you know why you don't see them often? Art Deco, by nature, first of all, is very time specific. So it immediately ages the property because everyone thinks set 1970s, right? The other element of it is that it has a lot of round features, and that's very feminine. You ideally want to use masculine features on the exterior of the property because they portray strength, protection. As to interior, you can go softer feminine tones. You can use curves, curved ceilings are really nice, for example, to bring that warmth and, soft touch of the feminine design. But in the exterior, it just doesn't give that, strength that it's a strong property. It's gotta protect you. That's a major flaw. And to double down on that, Michael Jordan has gone and started introducing a lot of elements that look like a basketball, round curves, and that even makes it more feminine. And the biggest mistakes I see in ultra high end is when billionaires start building their own mega mansions. 90% of the time, they make design choices that are so specific to what they want, right? And they make a house only ideal for themselves. As to when do you want to sell it, they're surprised, like, how come no one else wants it? Because in their mind, it's like the best house ever. But in reality, it's got a lot of weaknesses where a lot of people don't desire those elements.
Marble floors throughout. We have the staircases going up to the second floor.
I don't like this bridge covering the stairway above. It kind of makes you feel like it has low ceilings when you had a lot of space. The wow factor is okay, but you see a little bit of volume over here. The two staircases are right. But what I really have a problem with is that you don't see the depth of the yard. And that goes back to my point of what I told you guys. I really don't like the position of the house on the lot. I don't like the way the house sits on this lot. You entered from here, okay? You come over here, you entered from over here. What you're seeing is over here. When you should really be looking at the backyard, at something that shows the depth of the yard, shows your 7.4 acres. But because he decided to put a golf course over here, or a really, really long driveway, that was a major problem. You could have still created a very long driveway this way, positioned the property over here, had a way bigger backyard, right? And it's just, very, very strange to position it that way. And what's even worse is that your entrance is north facing. You get the least amount of sun, and this is pretty, upper on the, on Chicago is pretty north on the earth. So you get less and less light from the north as you go higher, closer to the North Pole. So very bad lot positioning, very bad lot utilization, and it's one of the problems why this property has not sold for ages. It's been marketed, I don't even remember how many years. I want to say 7-8 years, and it still has not sold. And we're going to talk about all the elements of why it hasn't sold and what I think Michael Jordan should actually do with this property to get it sold.
And these staircases are connected to each other through the bridge that is right above me. And now we have these steps taking us to the formal living room area. I really like the volume here. You have your first seating section.
All right, the volume is all right, but this furniture is straight up from senior living, reception area. The color palette is so off. I mean, I can't even think of any of these colors ever being popular to begin with. It's really designed to get you ready to die. It's really designed to kind of just take all the joy out of life, like you're done. Don't worry, you lived long enough. There's no, you shouldn't wait for any longer, and you should just, get ready to, to die because life sucks. And then you have these cool, light features, but the freaking wire, and it just goes straight up to the plug over here, which is so cheap. So cheap. You should have, built that in, you should have wired it in, and it's just so cheap set out. Horrible design. I hate it.
This side, leather couches and chairs. Secondary seating section on this side. Walls of glass bring in a ton of natural light and facing the relaxing views of the trees and surrounding landscape. We have hardwood floors on this elevated section here. And I want to point out these unique wall sconces. These were made from mufflers, which is super cool. Overall, great space. I love the volume here. You have curved lines throughout, mood lighting.
So basically, this area of the house is never going to get used. I mean, how often do you hang out in a formal living space, right? And the furniture is whack, the color palette is off. It's just really, really bad, design. And, again, no one's going to come walk into this formal living space and say, wow, I'm really impressed.
Now, I want to take everybody back to the entry. On the left wing, we have few rooms that we're going to see in a bit. On my left-hand side, we have the staircase going down to the lower level, and we have this door opening up to the library. Off of the entry, we have a small seating area, beautiful millwork. I really like these leather-wrapped shelves. Right in the center, we have the fireplace, marble-clad, hardwood floors throughout, and on this side, we have the wet bar. If you want more of the clean, minimalist look, you can actually use these pocket doors to close off this section. Next to the wet bar, we have a half bathroom, all clad with marble, fabricated vanity design that looks gorgeous. And coming back here, right in the center of the room, we got this stunning conference table.
What's stunning about this conference table? I mean, it's so bad, so badly decored, it already looks dated. And I think he renovated it about 2007, 2008, and already looks really aged, and the furniture even makes it worse.
Leather chairs, modern light fixture above, and we have all these picture windows facing
modern light fixture. This is like light bulbs hanging from the ceiling. It's just horrible again.
the grounds and the putting green, which we will see later.
So this is your yard. This is really your backyard, which is kind of your side yard now. Very strange design.
Now, within the library, we have two offices. We have the first one starting here, built-in desk setup, modern light fixtures above, wall sconces, and this side faces the motor court. Now, coming back to the library, again, picture windows, and on each side of this section, we have casement windows if you want to bring some ventilation to the space. Now, this is where we have the second office. Comes with a keypad entry, and this one is actually Mr. Jordan's office. Come on in. This is an incredible space with hardwood floors.
Oh my God, this is a horrible space. Look at this gray kiosk looking from the mall, like horrible desk, horrible furniture, horrible color palette, not appealing at all. And the light features are just very bad take on modern, I would say.
Modern light fixtures above, and on this side we have the built-ins, fridge, open shelving, TV in the center, and we have these picture windows facing the putting green. I can't believe I'm saying this. We're in Mr. Jordan's office right now, and it feels amazing.
Okay, Michael Jordan is amazing. His house is not amazing. It sucks.
He's one of those larger than life figures, and it's kind of surreal to be here,
Absolutely.
But he's so ingrained into American culture in so many ways.
Worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. I mean, I grew up watching the Bulls with my dad.
Just to make it clear, you're not buying Michael Jordan, okay? You pay $15 million, you don't get a Michael Jordan. You get his house.
I want to now take everybody back to the entry so we can continue our tour on the other side. Right next to the formal living room, we have the dining area. Polished stainless steel chairs with leather mesh on the inside, contemporary chandelier above.
What is this? It's horrible. Oh my God, it's so bad.
Glass displays, and this dining table is called the Baghdad table. There are only 10 of these in the world.
Why would you want a Baghdad city pattern? It doesn't even look like a city pattern. It looked like you just cut off half of the city, and it's like, oh, it's just, I can't even, I don't know who designed this. Horrible, horrible. I wish there was only one of them in the world.
Furniture can never be resold, but other than that, whatever.
What? You're forced to this is horrible. You're just, what kind of a clause is this, Michael? Did you put this clause in your freaking sale? You're like, you have to love even the furniture, and it comes with the property, you like it or not, it's coming, and then you can't sell it. Like, you have to, for the rest of your life, get a storage unit and just put it there and pay storage. And it's such a stupid clause, Michael. Come on.
That's it for the dining area. We have this opening taking us to the kitchen. Modern cabinetry, floating island right in the center.
Oh my God, what is this? Why does it look like this? The material are horrible. The color palette, brown? Are you serious? It's just so poorly designed. I don't know. If your interior designer ever decides to, make brown and dark brown as the main primary colors of your house, slap them in the face and say, Arvin told me to do it.
This is where we have the Gaggenau gas cooktops and the griddle, Above that, you have your commercial vent, and this is actually a three-tone kitchen, meaning we have the darker tones on this side where you have the built-ins and the wine fridge. We have the aluminum finish on the island as well as the
aluminum finish, you know? I remember when I was a child, all I wanted to have is an aluminum kitchen one day.
Then on my right-hand side, we have the pony wall with dry pantry, and this section has glass fronts. Light and bright kitchen. I like this section where we have the sink, casement window.
This has to be the worst kitchen I have ever seen in the ultra high end. It's just so bad.
Moving on, next to the kitchen, we have the informal dining area. Round table that sits 8, has a built-in lazy Susan right in the center. Above us, we have the skylight opening, bringing more natural light to the space. We have 2 French doors opening up to the backyard, more of these picture windows, stone floors, and I have to say, this property is maintained at a level that I have never seen before. It's in immaculate condition, so my hat's off to the management here. Taking us to the grand family room, massive sectional couch facing the TV, and below the TV, we have a gas fireplace.
This is like, you know, office building finishes over here. Again, the brown palette is just killing me. It's just killing me.
Stone-clad, beautiful wood paneling on the wall, LED lighting, 20-foot high ceilings, sliding glass doors leading you to the backyard. It's just a great space for you.
Okay, to be fair, the volume is pretty good for a living room, I have to say.
To sit down, relax, and enjoy this incredible property. On the other side of the family room, we have this opening taking us to the trophy room. Michael Jordan's home wouldn't be complete without a place to display his many accomplishments.
So what the hell would you do with this space? I mean, put a pool table? No, unless you're a basketball player or musician, you're not gonna really use any of this stuff. So I guess you could make it some sort of a game room.
With that, we're done with the kitchen and the family room. Now, let's go check out the backyard. I'm currently on an island that is located right in the center of this circular infinity edge pool that was designed to look like a basketball. It starts from 0, goes all the way to 5 feet deep. We have built-in seating, dark plaster.
See, the pool doesn't even look like a pool. It looks like a water feature. It looks like a, you know, a fountain. It just doesn't give me swimming vibe whatsoever.
You have the infinity edge on this side, beautiful views of your backyard. And here we have a stainless steel teak bridge that takes you back to the patio. Now on this side, we have an outdoor dining area. Then your patio extends out, additional outdoor seating.
Oh my God, where are the cushions? And guess what? I know this furniture. This is from Costco. About 15 years ago, Costco used to sell exact pieces like this, and they had beige covers. This is straight from Costco.
Your outdoor kitchen is on this side, all stainless steel. And above this seating area, we have a motorized awning that provides extra shade. Now, these French doors open up from the dining area that we saw earlier. Then we have the sliding glass doors here, opening up from the family room straight to your incredible backyard. And personally, what I like about the backyard is the fact
you had 7.6 acres. 7.6 acres. And you gave me this, Michael. That's what I'm telling you. Like, when people get really rich and they start building these weird stuff that it's their dream home. And I know what you're thinking, Arvin, like, he's a billionaire, he doesn't care. Yeah. And I made a video. Kanye West paid $56 million or $70 million. I don't even remember how much he paid. He paid like a ridiculous amount of money for this house in Malibu. And I was going, you know, explaining why this property is so expensive. He paid like ridiculously overpriced. I valued it at the time for 24 million, 22 million, and he paid like 3 times more or something like that. And everyone in the comments were like, he doesn't care, he's rich. Well, guess what? Now he cares. You know, things are good. When things are good, no one thinks, you know, shit's gonna hit the fan. But shit does hit the fan. Now, probably not for Michael, but if you're the ultra wealthy individual and you're thinking, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna build my mega mansion because I really want it. You can go ahead and do that, but just remember, when you pass away, your kids will curse you over your grave for giving them such a shit property that they get pennies on the dollar because you decided to build a dream mansion and, you know, left them with an unsellable property.
Speaking of the views, around the corner we have an awesome pond, which we're gonna cover later in the tour. Just a great outdoor space, multiple seating areas, and this estate cost Mr. Jordan around $50 million to build.
Again, $50 million, right? Yes, I know Michael is probably worth a couple $2 billion. He's in great financial situation. He's done a very good job. But most athletes, right, a lot of them, by the time they're finished their career, they go broke within a few years. So if you're an athlete watching this, just remember this video.
Whoever is buying this house is getting a deep discount. Lastly, as part of your...
That is not a discount. That's not how you value properties, right? If this property has been, just because it costs that much, that doesn't mean it's worth that much, right? So the market has spoken loud and clear for many, many years that this property is definitely not worth $15 million because it would have sold by now.
Your backyard, we have sliding glass doors here leading you to the pool pavilion. This is another great entertainment space.
Good volume, great natural light, great proximity to the swimming pool. I like this space. I like the wood paneling on top. Furniture's shit, but I can see it being utilized for big parties, and when you have people by the pool, it opens up to both sides. Really nice space.
Comes with 2 full bathrooms. We have the first one right here, second one on the other side, super modern, and right in the center we have this skylight roof assembly, bringing a ton of natural light. And on the other side of this room, we have sliding glass doors opening up the small patio where we have a water feature. This water feature adds up to the tranquility of this room. Now, let's go check out the guest house. This is a 3-bedroom guest wing located on the right-hand side of the property. Has its own entrance. We have all these doors opening up to the backyard that we just toured. And off of the entry, we have the spacious seating area here, TV on the other side, leather couch, lounging chair, and next to the seating area, we have a small dining space with a chandelier above. Now, the curved lines of this property also continue in this guest house. I really like these exposed Bang & Olufsen speakers here. And following this hallway, on my left-hand side, we have the kitchen. This kitchen was remodeled in 2007.
Who was your interior designer in 2007? Again, really bad choice of material. Overall, the guest house is okay. You know, I think it's a little bit better than the main house.
Stainless steel mosaic backsplash, Gaggenau gas cooktop, built-in oven on the bottom, and I really like these rolling drawer fronts. These are called timber doors.
This is not for ultra high end, okay? It's not good, not good.
I want to point that out. Now, moving on. Right across from the kitchen, we have this door opening up to the 8-car garage. And following this hallway, behind this door, we have a long hallway that leads us to a very special room, which we will see later in the tour. Now, coming back here, we have the 3 guest suites on this side. I'm gonna start with this one. King size bed, good size room. We have the TV on this side, plush carpet on the floor.
So sad, like all the wallpaper, all the colors. Oh, there's not a single plant anywhere. It's exhausting.
Room gets a ton of natural light, and we have this opening taking us to the full bathroom, floating vanity, natural stone countertops, wall.
It's horrible.
Chrome fixture, good sized bathroom. Now, let's go back to the hallway so we can continue our tour. Right next door, we have the 2nd guest suite. This one also.
Look, you just went wallpaper in every freaking hallway, room, everything you saw. You just put wallpaper. Like, you gotta use wallpaper as an accent, not as a primary, just a whole house wallpaper. What are you thinking?
TV on the other side, again, getting ton of natural light, built-in desk setup here, and we have this opening taking us to the full bathroom, floating modern vanity.
Look at this marble. What is this?
Quartzite countertops,
Oh, it's quartz.
backsplash, and we have the walk-in shower here, chrome fixtures, and they use the same quartzite around the bathroom sill as well. Now, going back to the hallway, we have one more guest suite to see. It's actually at the end of this hallway, another good sized room.
It looks identical.
Now, lastly, we have one more hallway left, and it is this one. You have some storage space on the left-hand side, few closets, door at the end opens up to the backyard. And lastly, we have a half bathroom here, beautiful finishes, floating vanity. This is a really nice guest house.
It really is not a great guest house. It looks like a, building office for rooms for, a corporate event. There's no element of relaxation. There's no element of joy in any of it. It just looks so corporate to me.
Now, next, I want to take you guys to a room that is very, very unique to this property, and without a doubt, one of my favorite rooms in this house.
Seconds. 17 seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
We have this long hallway leading us to the basketball pavilion, leather chairs, great space, TV on this side, wet bar here, and on my right hand side we have the door opening up to the outdoors and the motor court.
Look at this. Look, do you find this architecturally appealing to you? Do you see when I tell you like masculine and feminine, like that just round thing just ruins it.
We have parking spaces. Coming here, we have additional doors opening up to the side of the property where we have a tennis court, pond, fenced-in yard.
This tennis court is not, first of all, where's the net? Second is there's cracks everywhere on this court. It's not ready to play whatsoever.
Now, we have the steps here taking us to the basketball court. At the end of this hallway, we have a door opening up to a locker room with a full bathroom and a walk-in shower. And here we are at the basketball court itself. This has to be one of the most significant private basketball courts in the United States, if not around the world.
So it's significant because Jordan played in it, but I mean, Drake's basketball court is 10 times nicer than this.
We have the Jumpman logo right in the center. Around the Jumpman logo, you can see Mr. Jordan's kids' names. And throughout the space, we have glue lamps, high ceilings, industrial light fixtures, steel structural rods, exposed beams. This is just a beautiful space. And again, we are honored to be here. With that, we're done on the main floor. Now, let's go check out the lower level. Off of the landing, we have this spacious entertainment area, movie theater, billiards table, seating areas, and this part of the home is the most original. Keep in mind, this house was built in 1995, went through a partial remodel between 2007 and 2008, and this part is pretty much left all original. Now, before we tour this space, I actually want to show everyone what's around the corner. This gym, without a doubt, is one of the best gyms we have ever seen.
This is so dated. It's not the best gym. The equipment is not the newest. It just looks really dated.
In any residential home. I mean, look at the space here. You have every single piece of equipment you could possibly need. And I can only imagine the celebrities, the athletes that have worked out in this gym. It's just a great space. Now, let's go back to the landing on the lower level so we can continue our...
Look at the entrance, by the way. You see how narrow that stairway is? It just doesn't have a grand entrance to the lower level, and the ceiling heights drop significantly, again, on the lower level. I've talked about this in my channel. If you've seen it, you know, really, if you have a basement, it's a good place to give it high ceilings because you're not going to get much natural light. And if you give it lower ceilings, you can't think of it as like, oh, basements normally have lower ceiling. Yeah, but if you want to make it better, give it really high ceilings, give it that volume.
On this side, we have a bar seating here. Down below, built-in seating.
Okay, this is straight up from like an arcade in the 1980s. And he's built this in 1995, and this looks like a 1985. You know, movie theater. It's just, it's looking back is not a really good way of, you know, designing because it already looks dated when it comes out. All the, you know, neon lights and LED lights are just, to me, it screams like an arcade from the 1980s.
And it's all facing the movie theater. I love the trim work around the screen with LED lighting. And above me, we have the famous Jumpman logo, such an iconic brand. And keep in mind, Mr. Jordan built this house in 1995, and he's such a recognized figure that he can't just go in public or go to a movie theater. He has to have these amenities within his home, and that's it for this side of the entertainment room. Now, we have a hallway here, wet bar on my right-hand side, another bathroom here, and at the end of this hallway, we have these custom double doors opening up to the wine cellar, and without a doubt, this is one of the most unique wine cellars we have ever seen on our channel. I mean, where do I begin with the details? You have stone floors, custom woodwork.
Okay, at least the, you know, wine room, wine cellar is decent. Again, I wouldn't design it this way, but so far, if you're talking craftsmanship and everything, you can say this is like the place where, you know, they've done a decent job.
This door opens up to the left-hand side of the wine cellar. You can store up to 500 bottles here. This center section is the coolest part of this wine cellar. You can see it through. Again, resembles a ball.
He just couldn't get over the ball. Like, he just had to have it everywhere.
Now, coming here, we have this opening, taking us to a seating area. More of these curved lines, built-in seating, ceiling treatment above, cove lighting, another set of these double doors opening up to the cigar lounge. This is without a doubt one of the coolest spaces in the house. I really like the handrail design here that is incorporated into these stone steps. Then we have the seating area on this side. Custom millwork, finishes are gorgeous. TV is recessed into the wall, and above us you can see the ceiling treatment.
Okay, again, not an idea I would have for a cigar lounge, but at least you can possibly argue the woodwork and everything would give some sort of a cigar vibe. And the wine cellar, they kind of go together.
With all these details, right here we have this glass pivot door opening up to the walk-in humidor. I mean, this is such a unique space. Mr. Jordan loves smoking cigars, and this is where he used to display them. Now, coming back here, we have two poker tables, complemented with...
Why would you have two poker tables? You need one big one. Like, are we doing tournaments? There should be a proper poker table, like, you know, you would see in the casino.
Now I want to take everybody to the second floor. Here we are on the top floor landing. On my left-hand side, we have the formal living room. Again, walls of glass, facing the views of the outside, mood lighting above.
All right, before we look at the bedrooms, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Arvin, the reason it hasn't sold is because Chicago is the shit show right now, crime is up and all that stuff. So I want to show you guys the housing data. So this is ZipSmart.ai. This is Highland Park. It gives you buy and sell signals. It analyzes 30 different housing indicators like supply, demand, you know, interest rates, forecast interest rates, and gives you buy and sell signal with the degree of confidence. So the blue line is the current market. It's a, you know, some sort of a seller's market, but it's forecasted by November to be 19% more buyer friendly, which shows the market is coming down. But it's not like currently over here. There's a lot of places in the United States you will look, it's a complete buyer's market, right? And they're still going down. So you can't just argue and say this place is, you know, a dump, because it's really not. When you look at the, you know, housing data, crime rate is B, poverty is 3%, household income is 147,000, which is really good for Illinois. Higher education is 76%. That shows there's a lot of very wealthy, educated people who would help the growth of this area, right? So it's doing bad, but you can't justify that and say that's the reason it's not. There's a lot of other elements in this house that is causing this. If you want to check it out, visit ZipSmart.ai. The state level information is free, so you can try it out before purchasing it.
And on my right-hand side, we have this hallway taking us to Mr. Jordan's primary bedroom. But unfortunately, due to privacy and security reasons, his team does not allow anybody to shoot his bedroom, and that's why we won't be touring that space today. But on the second floor, we have an amazing lounge, which we will cover at the end of this floor. Now, moving on, this hallway takes us to 3 spacious guest suites. We're gonna start with this one on my right-hand side, queen size bed. I really like the art installation that they have on the wall. All these windows facing the front of the property.
Pay attention to the ceiling height. It just dropped significantly from the lower level. I don't know why they do that. You have such a huge lot. I'm pretty sure you could have built higher, but again, second floor, the ceiling heights are very disappointing.
We have a walk-in closet on the right, and here we have the full bathroom. Lighter tones with the vanity, stacked stone on the back. Then we have the walk-in shower here, glazed tiles, built-in bench, chrome fixtures. Just a great bathroom that complements this room. Now, right on the other side, we have the second guest suite. This one comes with a king-size bed, really unique headboard design. We have the casement window on the back facing the side of the property. Comes with a full bathroom, again, floating vanity, walk-in shower, and a good size walk-in closet. Now, going back to the hallway, we come to this point here. On my left-hand side, we have the last guest suite. Another...
Oh my God, what is this?
Coming back to the hallway, at the end, we have the secondary staircase coming up to this level. Opening on my left, looks down on family room. And here we are at the landing here. Now, these doors are really, really cool. These doors came from the Playboy Mansion that was located in Chicago. Mr. Jordan acquired them, got repurposed here, and without a doubt, one of the craziest doors I've ever seen in my life. These double doors lead us to the lounge. I really like the darker tones here with the...
This is when you started liking the darker tones, because the whole house has been darker tones. Pay attention to the low ceilings, horrible wallpapers, horrible carpet, horrible color palette. I'm not liking it at all.
Right in the center, we have this Brunswick billiards table that really complements the space. Picture window facing the motor court. It's just a nice, intimate, cozy setting. Now this section has a full bathroom, which starts here, fabricated vanity, walk-in shower, and coming back on this side, we have another bar seating.
Dark floors, dark walls. Which interior designer did ever suggest that? You know, and then everything else is dark. Pool table is dark. It's all the same, you know, very, very dark palette. Doesn't look good.
This opening takes us to the rest of the lounge. This is where we have the main seating area, L-shaped couch, drop-down screen, projector on this side, mood lighting, high ceilings. We have some...
I don't get it. Why would you want to have such a duplicate of downstairs over here? Is the downstairs living area for guests and this is like where you would hang out? I don't get it. Like, you had a great living room downstairs. It was at least had a great scale, everything. Like, I understand a landing area, like a hangout room, but it's completely a new set of everything that you had downstairs. You also have it upstairs.
Fireplace around the corner, clad with marble. Again, more of these darker, intimate tones. And Mikey, we have to show this side to everyone. You have another seating section here. Glass blocks bringing natural light. TV recessed into the wall.
You know what this is for? This is when your architectural elements from the exterior forces you to have some rooms inside that you didn't even want, right? This is a very good example of that. They've started this, you know, with the exterior of the house to say, okay, we want it to have this shape because this is whatever they wanted. But then they're looking at the inside. They're like, okay, wait a minute. We're kind of have this circular space over here. What are we supposed to do with it? Let's put another couch and a TV. Bad design.
Now, let's go check out the other side. This room keeps going. We have this opening taking us to the main bar. Dual elevation sink.
Like, why would you come to this bar? Like, is this like where the family, where you get drunk with your wife and kids? Like, shouldn't the bar be downstairs where everyone hangs out? You know, I don't get it.
Another TV. And this is where we have the second full bathroom. Has more of the red tones with the red mosaic tile and the vanity, natural stone throughout. Another beautiful bathroom. And lastly, we have this pivot door taking us back to the landing of the top floor. With that said, we're all done on this level. Now, let's go check out the grounds. $7.3.
Okay, before we look at the grounds, if you ever want to purchase a property and you want an unbiased, someone who would tell you the truth, you can become a member to my channel, and in live stream, members only live streams, you can ask me a question about a house you're planning to buy, and I'll give you an unbiased, you know, point of view, what your real estate agent won't tell you, the buyer or the seller agent won't tell you. And if you want to sell your house and you don't know why your house is not selling, you can become a channel member. You can subscribe. You can ask your questions. I can give you a critique of the house. I can give you suggestions how you can improve it. So I'm looking forward to starting that next week. See you guys there.
You get a lot with this property, and part of that offering is this private pond, which is just an incredible addition to the grounds. It's so peaceful and tranquil up here. I love the trees, sound of the wind.
Very cool to have a pond, but again, it's just at the corner of the property. When would you come over here? Just, I hate the way they've positioned the house on the lot. And it's such a butchered job when you had 7.6 freaking acres flat and you came with this lot utilization.
And they actually have fish in this pond, and they maintain and add fish every year. And around us we have deer, rabbits, squirrels. You feel so disconnected and secluded here. It's just a nice getaway from the city. And yes, this pond is part of your backyard. Now it gets better. Right on the other side of the property, where we have the...
Look at this design. Like, architecturally, when you look at this, what do you think? Is that, well, you're like, wow, that's a beautiful structure? Horrible, horrible design.
Mr. Jordan's office is on the other side, and it's just a great space for you to take some putts or practice your short game. I also want to show everybody the rest of the grounds. It's so gorgeous. You have these beautiful mature trees.
How much space you had? You had a huge, you just wasted all that space. Now you're thinking, Arvin, so what should Jordan do with this? Look, this is a teardown, okay? For how good this lot is, this property is a teardown. But if Jordan is so worried about his property and even his furniture not to be sold, I don't understand. He could get probably a massive tax write-off, give it to the city, make it a museum, dedicate it to the inner city child, people who are struggling, have tours, school tours that come over, get inspired by him, put camp, do something with it, and he makes a ton of money. You can get a $15 million tax write-off on your next year. And it's embarrassing having your property on the market for freaking 7 years and no one ever bought it. Do something good with it, and it will help your taxes.
And this is a great outdoor space for you to utilize for concerts, events, fundraisers. You can do so much with this outdoor space. You can do so much with this property. And with that, we're done with our tour, but of course, we're also going to see this place at dusk.
I really like the 23 on the gate. That's really cool. That's super unique, and I guess, only Michael Jordan can do that.
And that's it for our tour.
All right, if you think this house was crazy, this video is even crazier than this house. I'll see you guys in the comments. Take care.